Young homeowner.
All right, so we are back on my couch. Welcome to my couch.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
It's a nice couch.
Thank you. Thank you.
Feel at home.
I appreciate it. So we're here today with Mr. David, and continuing in May the desire to shed light on Black men who are investing in real estate, right? So as you know, our platform, Miss Young Homeowner, focuses on millennial Black women.
Okay.
But we wanted to just give y'all some shine because y'all out here really killing it, you know? So tell the people a little bit about who you are, what you do.
Hello, everyone. My name is David Gardy. I'm a systems analyst for Aber LLC.
Okay.
It's a federal consulting firm based out of the Washington, D.C. area, and we support different government agencies.
Okay. Sounds legit.
Been working with them for about 2 years now on the same project, looking for a little bit of growth, so yeah.
Okay. You try and get like some job pulls right now.
Hey, if you have a resume that's up to par, send it in, kinginvestmentllc.com.
Okay. So outside
At
of
gmail.com.
work, like where are you from? Where do you live now? All that good
So
stuff.
I was born and raised in Silver Spring, Maryland, Wheaton to be exact, and then I moved out to Woodbridge about two and a half years ago, and I immediately bought a house
Okay.
upon moving because I didn't want to. I'm pretty sure everyone has seen the little grid on Instagram where they compare renting to buying, and I didn't want to become a statistic, so I actually bought a house right away.
So tell, like, for people who haven't seen our grid, what does that? Is it a picture? Like,
So the grid actually is comprised of like different segments. So it goes into actual finance as to how much you would be paying each month, and then it gives you a timeline given it per year, and then it breaks it down versus being a homeowner, how much you would pay into your house, the equity that you would retain
all that
over a amount of
stuff.
time.
Yeah.
So
Okay. So you bought your first home in Woodbridge, Virginia.
I did.
Okay. So how old are you? Inquiring minds want to know.
I am 25.
Okay. And when did
26.
you buy your first home? What age?
I bought it when I was 23.
Wow. So you were straight out of college, no?
I worked for 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I worked and then I owned my own business. It was a small
okay.
commercial cleaning company.
really?
Yeah.
So did that help kind of set you up financially to put a down payment on a home?
So actually, no, it did not. So the thing is, when you go into becoming an entrepreneur, you need about 2 years of taxes compiled. So that actually was a bad route. So I actually ended up going back to work for a month.
Oh, okay.
And as soon as I got my job, I worked for a month, and then I bought my house literally the next month.
Really? And so the lenders weren't like, you only have 1 month of like job history?
You have to go with the great mortgage specialist. I mean, definitely shop around, I would say. Make sure that you just don't go off on one opinion.
Okay, cool. So in that, how was buying your first home? Was it difficult? Was it a hard process? Especially because you were an entrepreneur for so long.
So it was a bit of a process. Again, I had been working for about a year and 11 months as a consultant for Deloitte, and then I made that transition as an entrepreneur. And of course, they wanted back taxes and everything, so I went back to work. And I would say that definitely keep record of everything.
Yeah.
Make sure that your finances are straight. Make sure that you pay down your credit cards lower than, if you're gonna buy a house, make sure that it's around, I would say 10 to 15%.
What do you mean by that? Like usage?
Usage.
Yeah, so
that's
if
your
I have
utility rating.
$1,000 to spend on my credit card, I don't need to spend like over like $300.
Correct.
Got you.
So definitely keep it between 100 to 150 if you have $1,000, since that's the
Right.
the range that we're using. And just make sure that you are making payments on time, and you just you're very knowledgeable before the hand, because so many agents will tell you things, but you have to do research on your own.
Yeah, we was just talking about that. So were these things that you knew, or like did somebody have to get you hip, like the credit utilization thing, or like paying all your debt off, like paying more than just your minimum? Like, did you know all this stuff beforehand?
So there's this guy on YouTube. I use YouTube as a way to learn.
Great, because this is going to be on YouTube.
Yeah, I use YouTube as a way to learn. So I use this guy by the name of Jay Morrison. and I legit went through his how-tos on how to owning home ownership, home ownership, and just real estate rentals as a whole.
Okay, cool.
Being the lord of your land. That's what he says.
Being the lord of your land. I like that. Okay. So I know that you bought your first home, right? You're living in it, like that's your primary residence?
Correct.
Okay.
I live in my home, but I rent out the basement.
Oh, how was that?
So I put a wall downstairs. So I have 2 units upstairs. So it's 2 floors upstairs, and then I have a unit, self-contained unit downstairs, and it has its own bathroom, everything. Planning on installing the kitchen, hopefully in the next coming months. But yeah.
Okay. How was the process of finding a tenant for that?
It was a little bit it was a bit difficult, but I had a friend that actually he was just graduating, and he had another friend that was in the area, was looking for a place.
Okay, so it was easy.
Yeah, college connections. Make sure that you use your connections.
Yeah.
It'll definitely help you out. It probably might be like a family member or a friend that they might know.
Yeah, because some people have to like spend money on advertising and things of that nature.
It fell into my lap. Thank you, God.
Look at God. Look at God. Okay, so what I really want to talk about is this whole investment route that you're going down. Like, you bought a home, that's cool, and now you want to buy like investment properties?
Correct. So I bought my home. This was in 2018. And I would say that definitely have a little bit of equity inside of your house. You just don't want to come out and just buy another house right away. Put some money aside. Definitely had to save, and right now I have my pre-approval letter. So you have to talk to your loan specialist again, and they'll provide you with another pre-approval letter or another mortgage, depending on your usage. Again, you have to factor in your usage, how much you have on your house that you owe, and what exactly are your intentions for this house. Are you going to live in it as a primary residence, or are you planning on moving out?
So you own a home.
Correct.
You're renting out the bottom unit.
Correct.
What made you want to like take on investment property and like doing that whole thing? Because it's a lot, right?
It is. So my tenant, because I know him, I'm giving him a little bit of a leeway in terms of paying rent on time. He's normally like 2 or 3 days late.
Okay.
It's okay, but I don't really complain. But I plan on doing this. I plan on owning more real estate properties and holding it. Why? Because I'm looking forward to the equity. After 20 to 30 years of me doing this, let's say if I have a wedding or something in the next 5 years, I could take out the equity out of a house and just pay for that straight out of cash. Or let's say if my son or daughter is planning on going to college, I could use the equity.
Right.
Pay it straight out. So
you're
that's
gonna do the
my
buy and hold
approach.
method.
Yes.
Okay. Where are you looking to?
It's actually it's buy and hold, but it's in real estate terms they call it BRRRR. So you buy, you buy, you renovate, you rent, you refinance, and you repeat.
BURRR.
No, it's BRRRR.
Oh,
BRRRR. Gucci.
I'm learning so many things.
Yeah.
Okay.
So again, it's buy,
Okay.
renovate, rent, refinance, and you repeat.
Nice. I like that. So how's the process been for you so far? What tips can you give us?
So this is my first property. Going on to my second property. Hopefully I can get a duplex in the Northeast area. I would definitely do diligence. Do work on your own. I mean, they have Zillow, you have Trulia. There's one called homesnap.com. Use that because that gives you a breakdown. Even if the house has been sold, it tells you when the house is going back on market.
So you don't have a real estate agent? Do you plan on using one?
I plan on using myself. I'm actually taking a couple of courses to become a real estate agent in the process. But
that's awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. So
it.
then you don't even need, just bypass.
Correct.
Okay.
So saving myself, a little bit of that down payment.
Right. Okay. What other tips would you give us? I'm trying to buy an investment property.
Definitely talk to your, shop around with loan specialists or your mortgage specialist. A lot of people just do that with their realtors, but definitely shop around and find the best one. I would also look into your financing because a lot of people say, oh, they can give you this amount of money. But who knows? There might be some like different programs or different things out there that you can qualify for.
Even if you're not a first-time home buyer?
Even if you're not a first-time home buyer. And that's a lot of things that people get.
So I learned today that first-time home buyer credits like start over. I didn't know that. So if you buy a home in Maryland, if you wait a few years and try to buy a home in like Delaware, shout out to Tariq, you could basically like qualify as a first-time home buyer. I didn't know that.
You're teaching me something.
Isn't that amazing?
That is amazing.
Wow. That's
what
like,
other tips do you have?
I don't know. That's all I got. I'm sorry. It's your interview.
But I would say definitely do your research. Make sure that your finances are intact.
Were there
and know what you want.
Were there ways that you saved? Like, did you just have a savings account and put money away for your down payment, or did you invest in other things, or like?
So I actually do not believe in putting money inside of the bank. Once my money touches the bank, I put it into different investment accounts. If I ever need money, I just take a portion of that and I apply it to it. But I actually don't believe in putting your money in your bank account. Why? Because it's 0.08% the bank gives you a year versus receiving 16%.
God, really receiving 16% of it.
Hey,
We're gonna talk offline.
We gotta talk,
Listen, for those watching, Uber's IPO is about to drop next week, so get hit. Set up that E-Trade account.
That's real.
That could definitely be a way to put down your down payment for sure.
That's true.
Or buy furniture. Okay, cool. So let's say that there's like a black man watching this. He just graduated undergrad and he's like, I'm working a good job. I have a good corporate job, but like what advice would you tell him, or what things would you have him think about in terms of like investing and saving his money?
I would say definitely go and set up an appointment to meet with a real estate agent, and they have this program where if you're a graduate, first year graduate, you can buy a house with, I think it's low, either it's 3.5% or lower, and you can get qualified for that.
Yeah, there's like a loan forgiveness program tied to being a first time home buyer.
Correct. So this is before you even receive your first paycheck.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But you have to have your letter of intent and you have to have your overall annual salary.
Okay.
So you have
to have them go meet with a real estate agent. I would piggyback off of what you said. Find different ways to invest your money. So yes, you can have a savings account, but Google what it means to have a mutual fund.
Correct.
Look into your company's incentives, like their 401k plan. See if they offer or issue shares for a discount. Like if you're a company that you work for is public, or you could be an entrepreneur and start your own stock portfolio. Like my stock portfolio helped me buy this couch. So.
Wow. Is it a high yielding portfolio?
It's currently liquidated, so there's nothing in there right now.
Well, I would say, make it a high yielding portfolio because we have nothing to lose. I mean, we're young.
Yeah.
This is a nice couch though.
Thank you.
I felt at home.
Thank you. Okay. So how can the people keep in contact with you if they have questions or anything?
Keep in contact. I want my information like that. King_DKG is my Instagram. King Investment LLC at gmail.com is my email address, and those are the only two things. I mean, if you just send me a quick email, definitely get in contact. Really, I'm always on my phone, so yeah.
All right, David, you've been a colorful interviewer.
Hey, I appreciate you.
Thank y'all for tuning in, and we will see you next time.
Appreciate it.